Hey guys, so before I wrap up this video, I want to make sure you guys get a chance to hear a little bit from my daughter Liana D, also whose new trail name now is Aquamarine after a recent hike that we did after the one you're hearing about, and just get a little bit of her take from her side, kind of on the outside looking in that morning. What we're going to do is just go right into her room, and I'm just going to put her right on the spot on video. So we're just going to walk in and, hey, sweetie. So remember you were going to talk to us about what happened on trail. So before you go to bed, just going to give you a chance to talk about fall when we were out on that 3-day hike, and you can talk about day 3 and kind of your side, what it was like as I was either laying in the tent or as they started to get me out and see how I was doing.
Alright, so, hold up. Okay, so, I'll start for when, I'm guessing you guys already heard what he said. So, while I was sleeping the whole first time, the first couple times we passed out when it went to in the woods and stuff, and then I woke up and I was told that Dad wasn't feeling well, and I'm like, oh, okay, his stomach's probably just, having a little moment. And so I was like, okay. And so me and my cousin, Morning Flower, started making breakfast, which was avocado toast, I'm pretty sure. And we started making it, and while that was happening, the whole him sitting on the tree and passing out thing happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I kind of freaked out a little bit. I don't really know how to explain how I freaked out, but I basically just freaked out a little bit, and I didn't really know what to do, honestly. I was like, I kind of was like clueless, but like nervous at the same time, and I didn't really know what to do or what I could do. So, and I probably like stood up and like got closer and like started like watching. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, so they got him situated, asked all these questions. And so me and Kayla finished making breakfast, and Dad was starting to feel better a little bit. That was while he was starting to pack up, and we told everybody that like breakfast was ready. And they were like, okay, Dad did not eat. I don't think so. Yeah, he didn't eat. Everyone else, I think some of the nephews had, or my cousins had, this like packet, like oatmeal or something. Oh no, it was like the cereal. I don't even know. And then so after that, more of the craziness started happening, and they were talking about, we were calling like everybody out, and I honestly was like, what about like my mother? I don't think we've contacted Mom yet. And they're like, oh yeah, that's probably important. I'm like, yeah. So Science called Mom, I'm pretty sure, and we were like, he goes, hey Titi, and then like told her like the little story, and she's like, okay, and she goes like, she was kind of like freaked out again, because we were all like unsure about what was happening. And anyways, so long story short, they called all the rescue people. They came. I was kind of anxious, honestly. I was like, I was kind of like trying not to walk. Like I was like walking back and forth. I was like, come on, like you're taking too long. They really weren't, but I was just so anxious. I just wanted them to get here already. And so me and Morning Flower went and braided each other's hair out in like the woods a little bit. She was like, how about we like calm ourselves down and go braid each other's hair. I'm like, okay, good job trying to like get me to calm down. And I was like, okay, fine. So we went over, and it was fun. We braided each other's hair. And then by that time we came back, waited a little bit more, talked a little bit, talked about our feelings, okay. So Morning Flower is like the therapist, not really, but she's one of those, she's like, you could just tell me how you're feeling right now, and I'm like, okay. So anyways, she was like, you're being a lot more, what was it, braver or something than I would be. And I was like, thanks, I guess. But yeah, so anyways, they got there, and Dad kept passing out, and I was like really worried, honestly. The most scary part was when he was shaking. That really scared me because he was cold apparently, but I didn't know that, because one thing that really scares me is when people shake, because I think of seizures when people shake, and that's like something that really scares me for whatever reason. It just is. Like passing out, that's one thing. I almost passed out multiple times, which was also scary. But when someone's shaking a lot like that, I get really like nervous or something, or like someone's having a stroke or something like that. So that really scared me. And he had like all these stuff on him, like all these like pads, like what was it? Pads and
check
wrap
my heart
and
rate, check my like
yeah, all that
rhythm
stuff.
and
I'm
all
like,
these different
it's
things,
like
yeah.
it's like an emergency room
Out on the trail.
out on the trail. Like this is not normal.
For the record, that's how incredible that team was, though.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so they took him. I think I was gonna go with them, but I honestly didn't.
They didn't
want
have room
to.
on the side by
I know,
side.
but I was
Yeah.
going to, but then they didn't have room. And I thought they were gonna be, or I was gonna have them take my backpack so I could keep hiking, because honestly I was kind of scared to go with him. I didn't know what it was gonna be like. Even like I always said it'd be fun to go on a helicopter ride, but this was not how I wanted it to be. I just wanted it to be a regular old, helicopter ride, not over here scaring or being scared about stuff that could happen. But anyway, so they let me not carry my backpack, and all three nephews started like taking turns carrying it for me, which was really nice, and dad's. So I really appreciated that, because I didn't really have to carry anything, which made me go faster. And we really just like zoomed through that thing. Like we were like running for our lives, like we did, like we would be like in the rain or something. And I don't think Dad knows this, but when we were like halfway or like maybe fourth way, wasn't really feeling well or something. And it was like just stress, and so I went to like use the bathroom and stuff, and I was like, okay, I feel a little better. I was feeling a little, not like lightheaded, but I just like, I think I was just really nervous, and so I started like not feeling well. And Marco says if like my lips turn blue or something, that Dad's turned like bluish purple or something a little bit. So he said if that starts happening to me, then he'll be concerned, and like I'm gonna have to fly off in a helicopter too. But I was fine. I was just really nervous, and like it was really hot, so that kind of bothered me too. So yeah, anyways, long story short, we get down there. I try to come on. I don't think we had very good service. Not on the way back very much, which is kind of weird because the second time we went, it was fine. But anyways,
No, because you were getting down lower on the mountain. Higher on the mountain, you had service. The lower you got, more towards the exit, the less service you got.
oh, I never thought of that.
Remember, kind of like we were trying to meet them on that other hike, and we couldn't get very good service because we were in that one
That's
spot.
true. Okay, well,
That makes
anyways,
sense.
so we got back down. About halfway, my aunt, their parents, and my uncle, and my other cousin, the youngest, came, and we had like a little mini lunch break, had some like water, hydrated ourselves and stuff, and then we kept going. And then we finished. We did, honestly, I think we did pretty well. I think we went somewhat fast. But anyway, so we get down to the car, and we kind of like go through the plan and stuff of like what we think we're gonna do. We called Mom like another like 5 times or something. And then we drove to 19E, and they dropped, or we like took a break. We were gonna use the bathroom, but I don't think the hostel was open or something, so we didn't do that. And so me and Marcos went in the truck, and we kind of like parted ways a little bit. I think they went ahead and headed home, and then me and Marcos head to the hospital, and he goes, so this part's really cool. So he says, Mom was like, make sure you guys get something to eat, and he goes, okay, I got this, Titi, obviously, because he always says that. And so we've had some hospital things, especially like with our grandparents and stuff. So every time someone's in the hospital and we like have to stay in like the waiting room or whatever, waiting, I feel like I've spent so much time in this like specific like hospital, not the one that Dad was at, but where we lived, this specific one. I feel like we've like been there so many times. I kind of just like bring a whole bag of stuff and kind of just hang out, and I'm like so calm, like okay, I'm just gonna chillax here until like they tell me we're leaving or they tell me what's happening, blah blah blah. I kind of just chillax, like I know everything will be fine eventually. But anyways, and there's a cookout near there, so usually me and Marcos get cookout. So when he asked me what I wanted to eat, I was like, how about cookout? And he goes, okay. So I think that's going to be our new thing, and it kind of already is. So whenever someone's in the hospital, we always have to get a cookout because it's just a thing. So we got cookout. I got what I always get, and it was really fun. So we went to the hospital, and he went in. I waited in the car since I couldn't go in, since only one person could go in because of, coronavirus. So he goes in, and they gave him like this thing. He was gonna stay with him, and then Mom comes with my aunt, Marcos's mom, and by the way, Marcos is science. I don't know if I ever made that connection. Marcos is science. Anyways, so they came and they were like, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. Like we're good." And so they came and I went with them, and we went to get a hotel, which was like the worst hotel in the whole wide world. We won't talk about that. So we kind of just stayed there, and I had school the next day, just FYI. I had school the next day, but we were virtual, so that was really good. If I had to go to school, that'd be a real problem. And everyone, not everyone, but a lot of like my friends know that I don't like to miss school. Not my thing. I don't like to be left behind kind of thing with school. Like I don't want to have extra stuff to have to do. So I had school the next day, and I don't like to not go to school because I don't like to have extra work to worry about. But anyways, so we stayed the night. We all like clean up, especially me because I hadn't showered in like 2 or 3 days, so that's kind of gross. So I did that. I showered, and so we kind of slept. It was like probably, I think it was honestly almost like, maybe it wasn't that late. I feel like it was really late though, like maybe 11, which isn't super bad, but for having to leave at like 6 in the morning the next day to go home, it's, whatever. But it might have been honestly closer to 2 a.m. But anyways, I know it was really late. So we go to bed, we wake up the next morning, and we head out, and we go home. And everything was kind of back to schedule. We called Dad, make sure he's good. He's like doing much better. His thing's like basically healed, we find out. And we find out he'll be home in a couple days, and he is. And so all he really had to do was get his blood count back up because it was really low. And after that, everything was super fine.
All right, that'll work. So that's going to wrap up our story of day 3 of what started off as a 17-mile section hike. But good news is we did go back. So in the next video, you're going to see where I went back with my daughter, trail name Aquamarine, and her 2 cousins, one of which did end up with the trail name. We did mention that, but Morning Flower, which is the older of the 2 nieces. The younger of the 2.
Spoiler, me and Morning Flower got our trail names on the next time we went.
Yep.
Not this one.
So we went back and we finished what we started because I always say that's what we do. We don't just give up. And I said I grew up with horses, and when you get knocked off, you get back on. So we went back, we finished the trail, ended up with extra mileage, and went back in the same way they kind of came out and finished up the hike. So you're going to see that all in the next video. Thanks for following, liking, subscribing. So I'll see you back on trail in the next video.